All right, welcome to the Sharp Mind Show, episode 72. I'm Nate, the Fit Future MD, your host. Be sure to shop at InstaSell.com and pick you up a cool, inspirational t shirt today. All right, and you know what we got to start with? My beloved Carolina Panthers defeat the Atlanta Falcons in overtime, 30-27. Bryce Young throws for a Panther record 448 yards and three touchdowns. Okay. So basically you could see what the Falcons were trying to do in this game, right? Like they basically loaded the box, made sure that Rico Dowdle and Chuba Hubbard could not run the football. And so that basically left it up to Bryce Young. They basically said, Bryce Young, you're going to have to beat us, right? And so that's basically what happened. Like I say, Rico only got 2.4 yards a carry, 45 yards. He also got some receiving, but so 55 yards receiving. So he was basically at 100 yards total offense. Rico was anyway, even with them loading the box like they were doing. But um, let's say Bryce Young stepped up big in this game. Obviously, he's got a hurt wheel. His ankle was injured. Basically, every time he got sacked, basically that ankle was definitely taking a pounding. So hopefully he's all right this week. But Bryce basically stepped up in this game, and hopefully this will continue because he's basically struggled throughout the year. We definitely don't want to just have all of his yards in one game. Like we would love to see, you know, consistent 250-yard games, 200 to 250-yard games, 400-yard games. Well, we would love to see consistency where we're doing well in the passing game. Obviously, Xavier Leggett got a touchdown, got going, got 4 receptions, 83 yards. But he had 8 targets, right? So obviously 4 of those targets didn't connect. If they had, it would have been even better, right? But on the Falcons side, Michael Penix Jr. goes out with an injury, like a knee injury. Kirk Cousins comes in, and basically none of his people could catch the ball. He was basically threading the needle out there. Kirk Cousins can throw the freaking football, man, and they just dropped the ball. I mean, I don't know how many of his 14 passes. I would say six of the 14 were drops, and the other six were caught, and then two, may have been off the mark. But Kirk Cousins came in and played well. His team just didn't catch the ball, and saying really all they had to do, um, was get first downs, and they just couldn't do it because his people just dropped the ball. Um, but this is what I have to say about this game. Right, this game should never been into overtime. Let's say the team early goes for two, like for no reason, like, and then instead and go for it on fourth down instead of kicking a field goal in a close game. So that was 4 points, right? And that 4 points would have made the difference where we wouldn't even have had to go into overtime, right? Like it would have already been 31-27 there, right? And those were momentum plays for Atlanta to stop us on fourth down, stuff like that. So keep that in mind. Definitely mistakes there. I don't know why new age coaches do that. If you're down, four, you go for two or whatever, like so you can be within a field goal or whatever. Um, like you shouldn't be going for two unless you got to go for two. In my opinion, I'm old school on that. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comments below. Did we basically almost give Atlanta the game? Because we basically should have just dominated this game based on yardage and all kinds of stuff. Bijan Robinson obviously had a great day. Looks like 143 yards total offense, 2 touchdowns. I say he was torching us. I'm glad they only gave him 23 carries. But let me know what you think about the Carolina Panthers 6-5. Tampa Bay loses, so we pick up a game there. So I think we're like a 1 game back now of Tampa Bay. So hopefully the Panthers will come away because we got to play them twice. So hopefully we can beat them. And obviously they're injured and their best players are injured as well. So keep that in mind. Hopefully they will continue to be good. This episode is brought to you by Dylan and Davina, The Adventure Begins, which is my Amazon best-selling author wife's book, right? So go to Amazon, check out Dylan and Davina, The Adventure Begins, and see why Meredith Dillon Johnson is a best-selling Amazon author, right? All right, on to the next one. O.J. Simpson's estate has officially agreed to pay Fred Goldman millions 31 years later after the murder of his son, Ron Goldman. All right, so basically, O.J. Simpson was acquitted for murder. Back in the day, the whole glove didn't fit incident, but civil court ordered OJ to pay $33 million in the wrongful death in 1995. So, of course, Simpson, not being guilty, is not going to pay the family any money, from the murder of his son, if obviously he was not guilty. But, now that, so with judgment interest, the state's supposed to owe like $60 million, $57 million, almost $58 million. But they've agreed to pay $33 million, so that basically his estate can be settled, right? Because if you have a judgment against you, when you die, like none of your money can pass on. But what do you guys think about this? Should there be like a separation here? Like, can you be awarded money for a wrongful death when you're found not guilty of the death? That's kind of weird to me. Let me know what you think about the Juice's estate paying off Fred Goldman, father of Ron Goldman, who was murdered with OJ's wife. All right. On to life coaching today. 29-year-old just got promoted and a salary bump, but somehow feels more broke than ever. This person says, every time I make more money, my expenses magically rise to match it. How do I stop this? All right, so this is called lifestyle creep, right? And lifestyle creep is very difficult to overcome. It's basically keeping up with the Joneses, right? So you become a doctor. Oh, well, doctors don't drive Pintos. They don't even make Pintos anymore. But doctors don't drive Ford Focuses, right? Like, doctors are going to drive Raptors or, Lamborghinis or whatever, right? BMWs, Mercedes, so basically, this is how I look at everything, right? I look at an employer sees you as a number. Like you can be family to that employer, but the truth is, if you get sick, you get injured, whatever, that employer is going to take care of that employer, not necessarily you. Now, if they happen to take care of you, that's wonderful, right? And, I've seen it firsthand where someone has a heart attack, they go out on FMLA for 90 days, and they don't even tell them that they're dropping them from the insurance, right? So then all of a sudden, this person that went out with a heart attack has no insurance, right? Stuff like that. So, me personally, I'm gonna assume my employer does not have my best interest at heart, right? So I have to put my best interest at heart first. So, and this is something that I've always done, right? So when I was making $11 an hour and I went up to $15 an hour, I still lived like I was $11 an hour. And the rest of it got invested, right? You always pay yourself first, right? And so that's how you keep away from lifestyle creep. If you pay yourself the difference and stay in the lifestyle that you were living, you're going to end up with a higher lifestyle in the end because you're going to be getting paid without having to do anything, right? And say every dollar that you get paid is one step closer to your employer not having control over you anymore, right? Now, you might be in something that you love, yada, yada, yada. This is the best career ever, yada, yada, yada. But as soon as you get injured, I'm telling you that employer's not going to give a crap about you. And, I wish it was different. And the system does have some back things to protect you slightly. But at the end of the day, the employer is going to take care of the employer and you got to take care of yourself, right? So that's what I do. I invest the difference, right? So even now, we've made it where we can live on one income and anything we invest, we make money on those investments, we can play with that money, right? So that is what gets you to financial freedom. That's the road to financial freedom. If you want help setting this up where you get to financial freedom, hit me up in the DMs. Let's talk about life coaching for you. Let's get you set up with life coaching and we can get it set up so that you become financially free so that lifestyle creep does not get to you, right? It's great to have $1 million house, right? It really is. But did you need that $1 million house today? Could you have invested that money and had assets that paid for the $1 million house later instead of having $1 million house today and instead of it being an asset, it was a liability, right? So this is the kind of stuff that I help you set up. Don't have lifestyle creep. Just because you make a bunch of money doesn't mean that you are financially free. You got to get financially free first, and then you can spend all you want, right? All right. And the last thing of the day, which is, of course, the quote of the day, and it says, and this is a full Sagittarius quote here, says, if honesty offends you, that's between you and the truth. If honesty offends you, that's between you and the truth, right? So most people don't want to hear what the real truth is, right? And that's why, if you have people that are blunt, they'll point out what the hell's going on with you, which I'm really good at. Like, you got a $750 a month car payment and are asking to borrow quarters every week so you can get a drink from the vending machine, I'm going to call you out on it, right? Like, and if that offends you, then that's your problem. It's because it's the truth, right? The truth is you signed up for a $750 car payment and you can't afford your drink at lunch every day. That's a problem, right? And then you put your friends or your coworkers in a position where they have to say, no, I can't give you a quarter, you know, because you decided to get a $750 month car payment, right? Like, it's crazy. So keep that in mind. There's a lot more stuff like that, right? Like, I've had family members and friends go on a huge trip and then the next week ask to borrow money. I'm like, have you lost your mind? Like, really? And, you have to tell them, like, no, I'm not giving you money because you literally just went and spent all your money going on a trip instead of making sure all your bills were paid. Right? So keep that in mind. If honesty offends you, that's between you and the truth. It's because you're doing something stupid you shouldn't be doing. Right? And I'm Nate, and I'm a life coach. If you want to not be doing something stupid that you shouldn't be doing, hit me up for life coaching. Shop at InstaCell.com, pick you up a cool inspirational t-shirt. Like the one I got on, I started with nothing, so how can I lose? Check out Dylan and Davina, The Adventure Begins, my wife's children's book on Amazon. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, share the video with somebody that needs it. Comment down below, let me know what you thought about the episode, and we'll see you in the next piece.